Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's class, today's session. We are looking at Introduction to Export Business. Introduction to Export Business. All right, so let's dive into it. And if we are not able to take questions from here, you can put the question on the platform and we will attend to it. All right. So, and the recording of the class will be posted on the platform for everyone that is not able to make it live into the class. So, we are considering export business this morning, and that's what we'll be talking about. So, what is exporting? What is exporting? So, exporting, as we know, it's moving goods from the origin country to a foreign country or to another country. So when a goods or service that you produce or you design in your own country, that is the origin country, when you are selling it or when you are exchanging it for foreign currency, for foreign exchange, that is exporting. It means you are exporting that good or you are exporting that service. So exporting can come from the view of a commodity, of a goods that you produce, that you manufacture, that you package. And it can also be a service that you are providing maybe to a corporate organization or to an individual in another country. Okay, so if you package chin chin, for instance, and you are selling it to Ghana, to someone in Ghana, to a customer in Ghana, and the customer is paying you in Ghana cedis, and you are receiving Ghana cedis in Nigeria, that is exporting because you are getting foreign exchange, even though the standard of currency or the standard of payment internationally is in USD, which is dollars, so that for easy transaction. So most countries benchmark their transaction, their payments to the USD. So if you are doing that and you are getting dollars, that is exporting. So what is international trade? International trade encapsulates exporting and importing. It shows, it captures what you do as an exporter. It captures what the other party is doing as an importer. So if you are an exporter in Nigeria, you are exporting to an importer in Dubai, to an importer in India, to an importer in Belgium, in Spain, in Finland, in Malaysia. So they are importing to their own country, but you are exporting from your own country. So that's what international trade encapsulates. So when you hear international trade or someone is in the business of international trade, that's like the general picture of import and export. But in our program, or in this school, what we focus on is one part of international trade, which is exporting. So we focus more on the export part, which is you moving a good from your country of origin, which is Nigeria, to another country. And when I say to another country, I'm not saying the country must be in the US or in Europe, must be in Asia, must be in, all these advanced or developed countries across the world that everyone wants to go to. So it can also be neighboring countries that you have around you, like Mali, like Niger, like Benin Republic, Ghana, and Cameroon. So it can be something that is just around us because several times or so many times when we are talking about exporting, we are looking at far away countries. We are looking at the US, we are looking at Canada, we are looking at all that. So which is good, but it encompasses every country around the world. As long as you are transacting, you are being paid for your goods at an agreed currency between both parties, whether to be paid in USD or to be paid in the local currency of the country, whatever the agreement is, but you are being paid. So that's international trade and that's exporting. So when you move a product from a point A to a point B, so point A standing for Nigeria, point B standing for other countries. Okay. And when we are talking about services, you might not have to necessarily move a product, but leveraging on technology, or by technology, you might be providing a service to a company or to an individual. So let's say like in web development, in building an application, in building a technology, in being an analyst, maybe a business analyst, a data analyst, or whether you are an accountant, a tax accountant, a corporate consultant, or a leadership consultant. So you might also provide those services to other countries and also get paid in USD. That is exporting too. So you can export products, you can export services, you can export goods or services. So that is what exporting is all about. And in exporting, excuse me, so for the benefit of this program or our class, we can say that exporting is classified into two, or let's categorize it into two. So there is mini exporting and there is containerized exporting, right? So we can say the mini exporting part is just an exporter, or you starting the business and you are exporting on a small scale, okay, on a small scale, using air freight or other forms of logistics to move your product or to ship your product from Nigeria to other countries, okay? So we can term something like that mini exporting, where you just have to ship something within maybe 1 kilogram, 5 kilogram, 10 kilogram, 50 kilogram, 100 kilogram, 1 tons, 2 tons of product. Okay, so but as an exporter, when you start exporting 5 tons of product at a time, at a particular time, you are exporting like 5 tons of product. That's no longer mini exporting, because you can actually just put that in a 20 feet container and ship it to whichever destination it's going to. So when you look at that, there is a difference between mini exporting and containerized export. So usually mini exporting is where foodstuff exporting falls to. So when you see people who are exporting foodstuff, for instance, it usually falls under mini exporting because they export in small scale. So someone in the UK, someone in the US, in Canada can ask for 1 kilogram of fish, can ask for 2 kilogram of fish, although that's a small quantity, because when you consider the amount of money that go into the logistics and the shipping, it's a lot. So the minimum someone can order might be maybe 10 kilogram or maybe 20 kilogram, to balance up with the logistics fee. So, but foodstuff export, it falls under mini exporting. So also when you see someone selling fabrics, when you see a fashion designer packaging their clothes, packaging their designs, sewing clothes for people abroad, and they send it to them, You can see someone maybe producing shoes, slippers, sandals, leather bags, leather works in Nigeria, and they package it and they ship it to US, they ship it to Dubai, to Canada, and these places across the world. That it falls under mini exporting, because when you look at it, the shoe might not be even up to 1 kilogram. Excuse me, the shoe might not be up to 2 kilogram, so it still falls under mini exporting. Okay. So now this is different from when you see someone who manufactures shoes or produces shoes, and they've boxed those shoes, they boxed them, and after boxing them and all that, and the person wants to load a container with like 2,000 pairs of shoes, or let's say 2,000 units or boxes of shoes. So that's a large scale thing. That's no longer meaning exporting. So those are just like categories that we can say for the benefit of our program or class that we can classify exporting into, because going forward, we are going to be analyzing these categories and we are going to be working with them so that everyone can have a good advantage of how to start their business or how they want to, go into the export business. Most especially when you are considering finances, when you are considering financing, capital, and all this. So it's good that you know that. It's very, very good. Okay, what is an export business? Excuse me. So what is an export business? Well, when you look at it, everyone that is producing in Nigeria, depending on what they are producing, can be an export business. So if you are here right now, you don't have a business yet, because I know some of us don't have a business yet. We are still looking at it. Okay, let me come here, let me learn and see what I can do or how I can start my own business. So a business might not necessarily be an export business, but it can be an export-oriented business. That is a business that has future to export. So now you are producing hair, or you sell wigs, or you make wigs in Nigeria, or you produce hair cream. Yes, let's use hair cream because a lot of young entrepreneurs in Nigeria now are doing that. They produce hair cream, hair shampoo, hair wash, then beard cream, and all that. So they have a package with a string of products for hair. So now, when you look at this product, it's export oriented. Now, depending on the founder or the entrepreneur behind this idea, he or she might look at it that, okay, in 5 years' time, I want to start exporting. I want to start pushing out these products to other countries around the world, other African countries or other countries in Europe, other countries in the US, in China, and what have you. So when you look at that business, it has an export feature. That is, the entrepreneur can actually choose to push that product out. So now you have friends in the UK, or you have families in the US or in Canada, some colleagues, some people you've met in the past, or someone you just saw or you just met online, and you see that, oh, this person will need this my product, or this my product will do very well for this person. So maybe you have this formula that helps bowed people, or that helps people that are going bowed, and you you strike a conversation with someone in the US, and you introduce the product, and the person say, oh, okay, let me buy one. Or maybe you even told the person that, you know what, buy one, I'll give you one for free and all that. And if it works, you can go ahead and order more, or even tell your friends, tell your people about it. So, and it works, and the person is kept ordering and even introduced new clients to you. And that's how your export business booms. That's how it starts. So you can have an export-oriented business like that. So you can be producing maybe smoked catfish. You can be producing spices. So lots of young exports entrepreneurs, sometimes they overlook spices area or soup ingredients. So when you have just this pepper you see in the market, if you buy the pepper, you dry it, you grind it into powder, that's soup ingredient. If you can process tomatoes to make it, dried, and you grind it and you have tomato powder, or you are able to, process it, cook it, so that it lasts long, maybe for a month, for 2 months, and you have a product like a tomato paste from there that it's really okay and the quality is really good. And when others taste it, they are giving good feedback about it. You have a product right there. So it could be okra, it could be dried okra, for instance, it could be dried uh, vegetable leaves, it could be scent leaf, it could be bitter leaf, it could be just about anything. Even smoked catfish, some are blended into powder. Some are blended into powder. Crayfish is blended into powder. So there are different spices like that and soup ingredients. You have ogbono, you have utazi leaf, you have what's it called? What's the name of this soup? I've forgotten it. But you can get all these ingredients in the market. There are some major markets that's the only thing they focus on. And when you look at these spices products or this soup ingredients product, it's something that if an entrepreneur has like 500,000 naira, you can start that business comfortably, produce, package, brand, it's beautiful, it's fine. And you let people know that, hey, I ship spices to Dubai. I can export this product to you in the US, have a taste of Nigerian delicacy. You can have a taste of the real palm oil that you've missed from home. So the beautiful thing about some products that you produce around here is that Nigerians need them over there. For instance, let me give you a perfect example. I used to export sheep to a client in Malaysia some times ago, and this client in Malaysia, according to her, the Nigerian community or the Nigerian community over there in that area of Malaysia prefer buying everything they need from Nigeria. They prefer doing that from Nigeria. Why? Because it's cheaper. That's their reason, because it's affordable. So by the time they buy it here, they package it, they ship it down there and all that, it's still cheaper than what you have over there. That is, when you get a close-up here, when you get toothbrushes here, when you get bathing soap, sponge, Titus, sardine, peak milk, Malta Guinness, and all this. When you get it from here, it's still cheaper relatively to what is produced over there. The same close-up you buy in Nigeria and the same close-up you buy abroad, they are produced differently. So their prices are different. Their prices are not the same. So when you get a tin tomato produced, let's say in the United States, if you are buying that tin tomato in the United States, that same tin tomato, if you are buying it in Nigeria, it's cheaper, way cheaper. So some people will look at that, okay, you know what? Let's buy these products from Nigeria, ship it down here, sell it at a price that it will be lesser than the one produced here. For who? For the African market, for Nigerians, for those that cannot afford the high end that were produced over there. So what am I showing you in this explanation? There are some products that you don't even have to rack your head around. You don't even have to rack your brain. Just go to the market, show your prospects or your prospective clients these products that they are already produced. Even Indomie noodles. I export Indomie noodles. In a year, we can do up to 1,000 cartons or more. And that's to a certain country in Europe. This country also, we ship Malta Guinness there, Maltina, palm wine, pig milk, golden malt, what again? Different drinks that we ship there. All these herbal mixtures. The sex enhancing herbal stuff like Origin and what have you. Now, these drinks are already finished products. They are already finished products. You have people shipping them and they are buying it over there. In fact, there was a time one of my clients, our shipment was late. So because our shipment was late, they ran out of Malta Guinness and Maltina. And another person started selling that Malta Guinness because they had run out of Malta Guinness. And the person at the Naira rate that the person was selling that Malta Guinness, it was at around 11,000 Naira for one. Around 11,000 Naira for one. So this Malta Guinness that there was a time when I stroll out on the road, I just buy Malta Guinness. It's 100 Naira, it's 150 Naira, 150 Naira, I think 200 Naira. Then later, I know right now, Malta Guinness, maybe it's 700 or 750 or 800. Like that. But what I'm saying is that it's still cheaper, even with the inflation here, it's still cheaper when you buy it and you ship it abroad. So sometimes you don't have to produce. You don't have to manufacture. Sometimes all you just have to do is go to market, procure, process or reprocess, package, and ship. So that might just be the only thing that is needed, not necessarily producing and all that. So your business can be an export-oriented business. So right now, it could be what you are doing is just producing. So I have a student uh, some years back when she came for our training some years back. The only thing she does is just sell. She doesn't export, but she produces and she sells. She makes different kind of food products for adults, for babies, for children. She has different products, she just sells. She just sells. After attending our master class, then she started pushing for, to start her export, to start exporting her products, which means the business is export oriented. So the business already started for like maybe 3, 4 years, but she wasn't exporting. So after her training, then after like a year or so, she started exporting. Right now, I know her business is like 50-50. 50% she exports, she sells 50% within the country. So your business can be just something like that. Now, why start an export-oriented business? Why, which also is the reason why you are here. So, like, I can ask you that, why are you here? Why are you in this program? Are you in the program because you want to make money? Are you here because you are looking to create a value or you are looking to add value? Are you here because of the impact you want to make in your market? That is, whatever or whichever industry that you are currently. So some of us that are already producing something. One of the things we are still going to do by next week is we are going to pass a survey. So whichever industry you are looking at or the industry you are already in that you want to be exporting from, so that we can document all that and we can use it for our subsequent class. So is it for money? Yes, money is very good. You want to make money, and if you are in exporting, you'll be working with big figures. So you look at it that yes, there is money in the business. And is there money in exporting? Yes, there is money in exporting. You make money in exporting, and you also lose money in exporting. Okay, so it's a win and lose thing. So, but just that if you understand the business well, you are able to mitigate the risk. Okay, you are able to mitigate the risk. So one of my students, I we were doing some interviews last, and I just asked her, "Oh, how much did you lose last year?" And she said she lost 20 million. So, sometimes she was an expert when it comes to exporting goat meat. Yes, when it comes to shipping goat meat. Even me, I don't ship goat meat. I don't ship meat at all. But this lady, after I trained her, she went into, she did a lot of things that I wasn't even looking at. And one of those things was meat. I don't really know how she does it, but she got it very perfect. There was a time that I was looking into processing meat and all that, but I remember then my wife started telling me, meat is risky, meat is. So, but where I'm going is, so I just asked her, I said, what happened? It's been a while I saw you do meat. It's been a while I saw you, talk about meat, processed meat and all that. And she told me, she said, oh, that the meat put her in debt at some time, at some point, and all that, that she's still even paying some debts. Oh, I say, okay, fine, fine, fine. That's fine. That's fine. At least the business, the export business is still going on. She's still doing it. And when I asked, when we spoke this year, she was like, oh, last year that she lost about 20 million naira. So I said, when I trained her, she was an undergraduate. When she attended our master class, she was still an undergraduate. She was in her final year, and she was just looking for something she can start with after she finished school. But look, now in 1 year, she's losing 20 million naira. And I know that last 2 years, she lost a lot of money. I know she lost more than 20 million naira, though I didn't ask her for the figure, but I know she lost more than that. But where I'm going is she's still doing the business. She has giant, what was it called? Dryers, things you use to process her products that she's shipping and all that. So she's making more money, although she's losing money also because in export business, by the time we get to the middle of this program, you will come to understand what I'm trying to say. So there are some things you might not be able to avoid. There are some you will be able to avoid. Okay, but the balance is that you make more than you lose. So if you are making more money and some things happen in the business because there is no business that doesn't have its own risk, and you lose some, but you are able to gain more that you don't really feel what is lost if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you make money in the business. Yes, that's one. In terms of value, you add value also because you can look at it in the environment where you are. So some of us, we live in Lagos. Some of us, maybe we're in Abuja. Some are not even in Nigeria. Okay, so you are looking at either, okay, from my environment, whether I'm in Kogi State, whether I'm in Kano State. There was a time I was training a guy that came from Kenya, another guy that came from somewhere in Kaduna. And when we did an analysis of the commodities or the products you can get from your environment. That is your direct environment. So you can add value from there, looking into your own environment. So some of us are in Lagos because why? We are working. Okay, we are working, we are earning a living in Lagos, but we came from Enugu. But originally, our origin is Enugu, is Ondo State, is Kano. You might look inward that okay, in Enugu, what is that product? What is that commodity that is prevalent? That is cheap. There's a lot of it. I can get it easily. I can process it. I can package it. And I can export it. So you might look at Kaduna and say, in Kaduna, what do we have here? In Kaduna, we have dry split ginger. We have fresh ginger. we have garlic, we have onions, we have soybeans. Okay, let me take these soybeans. What can I do to it? Can I process it? Should I fry it? Should I dry it? What's out there? So that's why we're still going to get to the part where you have to do research, okay, where you have to learn how to do your research on commodities. Because the goal or the goal of this program is for everyone to finish this program, get out there and do great things, okay? And do great things, okay? So we'll still get to that part where we have to do or talk about research and writing our own business plan, our own export business plan. So by the time you are done with all that, you understand how to go back to your origin or your environment and see what you can actually take up and use to add value. Okay, so impact also, you make your impact in the export field, or it could be in the food industry, in the agriculture industry, it could be in the mining industry. So you can be attracted to minerals, to metals, to mining products like copper, for instance. So most of these metals, we have it here in Nigeria. We have them in abundance. Okay, so we have copper, we have manganese, we have lead, we have magnesium, we have lithium, we have iron also. So we have most of them in the north. If you need to buy anything metals, mining, you can go there. We have some metals too in southeast. In southeast, like coal, we have it in abundance. So depending on what kind of contract that you have or that you are going to be working with. So you know why you want to go into the export business better than me. Okay, so mine is to guide you and to coach you into doing that. And don't forget that assignments, resources, materials are going to be dropped starting from today. Yes, starting from today, you are going to be getting that and submitting every week. So, like by the end of next week, there has to be something that you've done, that you've worked on, okay, that you give feedback reports on that shows us that you are moving forward in the field. So by the time we at the end of the program, there will be some basic things that you would have achieved, okay, that you would have achieved, that you would have known that you've done. So you just build on that after the program. You just go ahead and build on it and build on it and build on it. So let's talk about our country for a while. Let's talk about Nigeria for a while. So Nigeria, like we know it, is the largest economy in Africa. So I know a lot of us have heard that, even though sometimes Nigerians are angry and they say, well, it's not about we being the largest economy, things are not okay. The inflation is not good, the leadership is bad, and all that. But we still can't deny that Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa and it has a thriving import-export business. Even though some things are not balanced, like we cannot compare our imports with our exports. What we export is really small compared to we, uh, what we export is really small compared to what we import is really small. So according to a report in 2021, Nigeria's exports of goods and services is $57.7 billion. Okay, that is in 2021. And this accounts to 15.6% of the country's GDP. Now, okay, why I cited this figure is because I wanted us to understand that when it comes to statistics like this in Nigeria, these stats are not so accurate. Okay, they are not so accurate. Uh, what I'm trying to say is that the markets in Nigeria as a country is actually bigger than this. Okay, it's way bigger than $57.7 billion. And in this year, 2021, I'm very sure that Nigeria as a country, if everything moving out of the country was documented, will be more than this. It will be more than this. So several times, if I travel to some rural areas of the country or some parts of the country, you can see different activity going on. So there is even a video, someone was playing and discussing beside me sometime just like a few days ago, where somewhere inside a bush in Kogi State, I think, they were mining a particular metal. They will load it on the plane and the plane will fly out of the country. That is, there's a runway in this bush. The plane comes, doesn't land at any airport, goes straight to this mine. The plane is loaded with the metal and a pilot flies the plane out, of the country. So these are stolen wealth, stolen wealth from the country. So which doesn't get its way into these figures that we usually see. So sometimes you go to some remote areas, you go to some bush, you see things, you see Chinese men mining, doing this, doing that. So most of these things are not recorded. And don't forget that Nigeria is really open. As a country, we don't have very strong borders. Our borders have different loopholes, and people can just take our products right, left, and center. So from Nigeria, you can enter Togo. From Nigeria, you can go to Benin. From Nigeria, you can go to Mali, Niger, different countries. Even Cameroon, from Nigeria, you can go to Cameroon. Uh, you can go to all these countries from Nigeria. So it's not, and you can just drive, you can just drive in, drive out without any issue. So what I'm trying to say is that so goods are just, taken off, brought in. So these figures are not always truth. That is, our export market is really large. It's not something we've really been able to document. And that's why Nigerian youth needs to always look into export. They need to always think about exporting. Even when you are starting a business, you want to start producing a product or anything you want to start doing, you must think globalization. You must think of how you can take that in and make it go global and sell it to different countries. So according to these statistics, the destinations that we export to, or that we exported to in 2021, India, then Spain, then the United States, then France, then China. So if you look at that, so India, yes, Nigeria, we do a lot of exports with India. As a country, we do a lot of exports with India. We do a lot of exports with Spain. With Spain, I think that should be in the area of petroleum and crude oil. But when it comes to India, India buys different or several type of commodities or kind of commodities from Nigeria. So looking at agricultural commodities, mining, forestry products like charcoal, like wood logs. They do a lot of transactions with Nigeria. And China also does that. China also is another country that I know we Nigerians export with a lot that they buy more of our agricultural commodities, because they have huge population. So not like the United States and Spain and other countries that they are focused more on our petroleum, on our crude oil. So when it comes to China and India, they focus more on our commodities, on our agro commodities. So food, livestock, all these things. They go to China, they go to India, and Vietnam also, even though it's not on this list, is also another country that one needs to also look at or think about. So we have, apart from our mineral fuel, cocoa beans, oilseed, edible fruits and nuts, and we have rubber are some of those commodities that are export. Okay, so those are some of those commodities that are exported in Nigeria, top exports from Nigeria. Okay, so sometimes you as a newbie in the industry, or you as someone who is just starting out in the export industry, you don't want to go by these statistics. You don't want to go by what is really selling or out there. You want to go by what you are able to lay your hands on and what you are able to finance. Okay, so about 5 years ago, let me say 7 years ago, cocoa beans wasn't so viral like it is right now, but its price wasn't cheap. Its price was also high, but not as high as it is now. Now you have a ton of cocoa beans like going to, crazy high amounts, crazy high amounts, so you can even get people selling it for as high as 15, 14, 13, $20,000 per ton for the on the tonnage, So cocoa beans is really crazy right now. But just few years back, it wasn't this high. Okay, it wasn't this high, and the prospect that it's even going to be this high was not there at all. It was not there at all. So, and some years back, like in 20, I remembered between 2015 to like 2018. Yeah, even some parts of 2019. If you want to buy soybeans per ton was just like 60,000 naira, 70,000 naira. There was a contract that we were working on in 2018. That contract was for soybeans going to either India or China. And we were negotiating soybeans because it was a large amount of soybeans. We were negotiating for 50,000 naira per ton for soybeans. So soybeans doesn't used to be a commodity that exporters even want to start up with, because it was when you look at the volume that you are doing in terms of the financial volume, it was really low. But today a tonnage of soybeans is like 700,000 naira, 800,000 naira, So that's to just show you the kind of jump that has happened between then and now. So as at 2021, 22, I was still doing dried split ginger for like 4,000, $3,500 per ton. Right now, if you are going to do dried split ginger, you are looking at almost $10,000 per ton. Which invariably, if you look at it in naira, that you are going to Kaduna, you want to buy dry split ginger, you want to get it from Nigeria here, you can be spending almost 2, 3, 4 million naira per ton. Yes, you can be doing 4 million naira per ton on dry split ginger. But then dry split ginger, a ton was just maybe 350. 350,000 naira. And that was very expensive then. It was really expensive. Dry split ginger, dry split ginger. But now, if you want to buy a ton, it's like 4 million naira. So you can't really go by the stats. That's why you need to understand the market yourself. You need to do some research yourself. You need to go to the market yourself. So as an exporter, you won't. So there are some articles I wrote. I wrote on my released on my newsletter. I'm going to send you the links. So as an exporter, you need to go to the market yourself. So you might not have that time to travel, to go to Kano, to go to Kaduna, to go to all those interiors. So, but you can research into trying to get a merchant over there, trying to get someone who is selling that commodity in that state. Then you make calls, you call them at that market over there, you know, and ask questions. Oh, this commodity, please, how much is it? How much can I buy it? If I want to buy like 50 tons, when the price drop, okay, how much will I bring it down to? If you want to send it to me in Lagos, what's going to be the amount? All those things. You can have all your pricing, all your figures ready now. Okay, so you need to find ways to have a reality of what is happening in your own market currently. Okay, so that's the essence of these two slides in this presentation. So barriers to export business. What are the barriers? That's entry entry entrepreneurs encounter, when they want to enter into the export business. What do they encounter? The basic things is just even though when we are talking about government regulated licenses, is not so strict. One thing about Nigeria, yes, the economy is, the inflation, the leadership, the government, but you still have to praise Nigeria and Nigerians or Nigerian leaders for making business easy to do in Nigeria. There are some businesses like you entering into the export business. If you want to enter into this in the US, in Finland, in Malaysia, in China, believe me, the is not limited, but very strict. Very, very strict. You can be on it for years before you get licenses. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you can apply for your license in the morning, by evening, you've gotten it. Okay, so if you want to get your NEPC license and all that, NEPC registration certificate, within 24, 48 hours, you can get it. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes some of these things we consider barriers are not actually barriers, but because we don't have the right information to it makes us think that they are barriers, but they are not. Okay, so a young entrepreneur wants to start exporting is looking at, oh, I want to export. Okay, I need so license. I need so. He or she might not need it, but of course they won't know, or he won't know, or she won't know. Okay, so they might not actually not need it. It's not needed. Like if you are going into mini exporting, when I explained the concept of mini exporting just now. So if you are going into mini exporting, you don't need anything government regulated licenses. You don't even need to register your business with CAC. It's not needed. All you just need to do, make sure this thing you want to ship, it's good. Your clients will be happy with it. They will come back to order more. Find a trusted logistics partner to work with, a shipping partner to work with, that will help you ship, that will help you move the product to where it's going to. Simple. That's all you need. And you have to be the one to you have to get your buyers, source your buyers, and all that. Do your financing, procure your goods, but when it comes to government regulation, you don't need it. So, but you need government regulated licenses for when you are looking at containerized shipping. Now you are exporting maybe 100 tons of a commodity. So the government wants to know every container that is leaving the country. The CBN must track it. You understand? So because of that, you need some registration. You need some to put some things in order. You need to structure out some things in your business, in your company. So that's why we talk about regulated licenses. And I'm still going to break that down so that you understand that it's actually not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Another thing is international buyer sourcing, buyers, sourcing for buyers. So sometimes you see people, they say, oh, I'm very interested in exporting. I want to export. So what's stopping you? Buyers, I don't have buyers. Oh, where will I get buyers from? And some will also ask me, oh, can you get buyers for us? Can you get, I receive that message mostly every day of people either asking me for buyers, for suppliers, for different things. But the thing is, when you are an exporter like this, you must learn the ropes of how to source for buyers yourself and how to get suppliers yourself. Because one, you as an exporter, you can't sit in a place. You have to move around, constantly moving around. And when you even look at the some of Nigerian businesses right now, currently, when you look at some entrepreneurs, celebrity entrepreneurs like Obi Kubana and co, you see that they are always moving around. They're always traveling. I'm not even talking within Nigeria. They're always traveling to countries like China, to countries like Dubai, to countries like Abu Dhabi and co. Why? What are they doing? They are meeting partners, they are meeting companies, they are meeting because they need to export. So they are just doing international trade. You have to export, you have to bring in something, you have to take out something. So to do all this, you need to be moving around. So as a Nigerian, you are just starting in the business. You can't be flying around the world. But in Nigeria, you can pick your phone, you can use your internet, your laptop, you can make calls. You don't even need to spend airtime anymore. All you just need is have good data, enough data, use your WhatsApp, do video, do WhatsApp video. I was using WhatsApp video as far back as 2017 for transaction, for trade, for procurement. When we go to the market where we want to buy maybe some commodities, we'll use WhatsApp video to call the client and show the client that look at this wood. Do you like this wood? Is this log? Is it as big as what you want? We'll use tape rule. We'll be using tape rule to measure it. The buyer too over there will be looking at it. And that time WhatsApp video wasn't even this good. It wasn't even this good. So, but we're using and it was doing the job then. So, technology has really opened a lot of doors for us. That's why we have something like this that we are using now, Zoom. We can use Zoom to communicate, to arrange a meeting with someone in China, India, and Japan together, and you discuss what you want to do. So the limitation to buyer sourcing has really been removed by technology. Social media, TikTok. Some of my students, they use TikTok to get buyers. They use this TikTok to get, in fact, a lot of international buyers that comes into their DM, and they are making money from there. Okay, so that's going to be something that we are going to consider on its own as a class, buyer sourcing as a class. Okay, so export financing also. So when it comes to export financing, depending on the kind of export or the area where you want to enter into, what your entry strategy to the business is, depending on that, export financing can be an issue. Yes, I agree. Export financing can be an issue, but we are going to trash it out also as a class here. So how to finance, how to raise capital, how to get the money that you need to buy and to procure according to the specification in the buyer's contract. Okay, so when you go to Kano, for instance, and you say, I want to buy hibiscus flower, your buyer would have told you the type of hibiscus flower he or she wants. If it's the light red flower, if it's the deep red, if it's I think there's also another color, maybe purple or something I've forgotten. But there are different shade of red for hibiscus flower. There is the grade hibiscus that the flower is large, is big. There are the crumbs. We have the crumbs, the ones that the flower has broken into pieces and all that. Some people need that. Some people don't want it. So all the specification, you want to make sure you get it right. Some people tell you they don't mind if there is dust in the crumbs. Some people tell you they don't want any dust. They want it cleaned. Just like when you want to buy sesame seed too. Some people will tell you, we want it cleaned. We want this sesame seed. It has to be cleaned. And some will tell you it has to be white. There's white, there's black, there's uncleaned. Also, so you need to get your specification right. Okay, so we are also, these are still things that we are going to look at in our upcoming classes. Okay, so don't panic if I'm not taking it so deep. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Starting an export business in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, if you are to start your export business now, if you are looking at containerized exporting, you are exporting in containers and all that, you need to have your CAC certificate because you need a limited liability company. Why you need a limited liability company for containerized exporting is because when you have that, you'll be able to apply for something called Form NXP, which I'm going to talk about later in this presentation. So according to the CBN and the federal government, only limited liability companies can export when it comes to containerized exports, okay? So, but if you are doing mini exports, foodstuff exports, you actually don't need a CAC certificate. So now, the NEPC, that is the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, will not accept a business name. So when you want to apply for the NEPC registration certificate or the NEPC certificate, they will only accept a limited liability company. So your CAC certificate, it has to be a limited liability company. So you use that to register for your NEPC certificate. So once you get that, you open a commercial bank. To open your corporate account, right, you don't need your NEPC certificate. You just need your CAC certificate. And your commercial bank, depending on the bank, they might ask you to get the SCOM certificate against money laundering and all that. So meanwhile, some might not, ask for it. So once that is opened, you also open an export domiciliary account. Your export domiciliary account is important because that is where CBN will be expecting that the money that's going to be paid to you from your shipment, that's where it's going to be paid. Okay, so they will be tracking that account to know that, oh, you requested a form NXP so and so for so kind of shipment, valuing so amount of money. And maybe in 60 or 90 days, at least, it will get there, buyer will see it, back and forth, buyer makes payment. So that account is where your export proceeds come back. So CBN will be tracking that, to know that, oh, so we made all the exports Nigeria did for this quarter or for this year, so amount. They'll be able to calculate everything together. Okay, so these are just what you need. And don't forget your export domiciliary account, you can't withdraw cash from it. Okay, so like I get dollars in my domiciliary account from time to time. You can get, so a shipment can happen, the client pays. You look at that, yes, you have a lot of, thousands of dollars and all that in your domiciliary, but you can't withdraw it. Okay, so you can't withdraw it as cash. You can't withdraw it as in dollars. If you can withdraw it in dollars, it should have been beautiful. but you can't. So the most you can do is to work with your bank manager. You work hand in hand with your bank manager. So they will, so you are going to swap it, So according to CBN and federal government rules, you have to swap that dollars. Okay. So as an exporter, as an exporter, you also have importer. So importer wants to bring in something into the country, right? So importer wants to pay those he's buying from, and he wants to pay them in dollars. But you have shipped something out, you were paid in dollars. So importer should not be searching for dollars when you who shipped out something already have dollars. So you just swap it with that importer. The importer gives you naira, you give the importer dollars. So that's like the trade model that the CBN and FG concluded on. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about that very soon. I'm going to talk more about that very soon. So products you can choose to export in Nigeria, you can choose to export agricultural commodities like cashew nuts, like cocoa beans, sesame seeds, uh, what have you, different agricultural commodities, that you have to travel, like all these shea butter, those are agricultural commodities, kernel oil, palm oil, alkaline, cocoa alkaline, um, I'm trying to cola nut, bitter cola, those are also commodities. Okay. So you can choose to focus just on agricultural commodities, just on agricultural commodities. Then mining metals and minerals, metals, minerals like copper, like iron, manganese, magnesium, lithium, all these metals, you have them in abundance in Nigeria, gold, silver, uh, I don't amethyst, precious stones. We also have dimension stones in Nigeria. Lots of dimension stones also that have been shipped and exported. Even those most of our dimension stones they are exported illegally, but you can get Chinese buyers to do that business with legally. Then livestock, fish and meats, forest products like wood logs, like charcoal, like charcoal. So under charcoal, you have a different kind of charcoal. So charcoal is a huge market on its own. There was a time it was banned by the federal government. I don't know if they've opened it now, even though the last circular said it will be opened and people can resume charcoal exports. But um, I don't know if that has taken effect because there's usually a logistics issue with the customs. Okay, so you can also services services. I spoke about services earlier. So when you are providing services or technology services, or when you are a consultant to other people in other countries, so it can also be another area. So foodstuffs, raw, semi, or fully processed food stuff. What I mean by the fully processed is, for instance, you buy milk and you export it, you buy lacasera. So sometimes you can see a container just loaded with only Coke and Fanta. Yes, and they are taking it to other countries. Sometimes even myself, we buy lots of Maltina. What we do most is Maltina, Malta Guinness, High Malt, these canned drinks. We can load a container full of it and it's going to other countries where they are going to buy it, where they are going to consume it. So and you have all this pet bottle drink also. Indomie noodles. Indomie noodles sell a lot also over there. Then manufactured goods, those are manufactured in Nigeria, like cars, like electronics. There are some young entrepreneurs in Southeast, like in Enugu or Aba now, they make their own TV. They produce television. Yes, I've forgotten the name of that company. They produce smart TV. It's just young guys that started the company. And we have Inoson Motors, We have some Nord Motors. We have different car companies right now, and also in Nigeria. We have companies producing tricycles, electric vehicles. So these are also manufactured goods. Shoes. Aba, for instance, is the shoe hub for West Africa, if not all of Africa. Just that the government, Nigeria, as we always talk about the leadership issues that we have here, Aba should be like the main hub supplying uh, the whole of Africa when it comes to shoes, leather works, and all this. So, as a young entrepreneur or exporter, you can still go to Aba, check out the solid products that you can package for export. So and that can be maybe you're exporting to Ghana, to Kenya, to just around us. Okay. So human hair is also another thing that sells. If you can process human hair right here in Nigeria, if you can package human hair right here in Nigeria. So for some people, they go to this company on the mainland. There's a company on the mainland that produces human wig and weave-ons and all that. They remove it from the carton. They remove it from the carton, they put it into their own carton. That is, they rebrand it as their own, and they export it. So this you just need to find out your own niche, your own product, that you are comfortable with. Another thing about products, we'll still do this, is that it has to be something you can market. You can easily market. You can market it without stress. It won't stress you to market, okay? So that's one other thing you need to look at. So process to export. So this is where I'm going to talk about some things. Now, decide what you want to export. That is the product. I already spoke about this. So you have to decide, what do you want to export? I want to export spices, nothing but spices. Oh, I want to be exporting soup ingredients, just soup ingredients. Believe me, if that's what you are doing, you can't tell me you won't make any sales, because in the US, Nigerians, they are organizing parties every weekend. In Europe, one of my friends that went to Austria recently, he studies in Austria. We discuss almost every week. One of the things he told me was that when after church service on Sundays, he goes to a Catholic. So after the Catholic mass, the service, the Nigerians or the Africans, they will still gather, and they always have this like a little party picnic after the service. They will meet, they must eat, discuss, vibe, and all that. So what are they eating? It's Nigerian food. It's the African food they can get, the ones they are able to get. So who is supplying them? Someone is doing that. And do you know what? Indians, Indians around the world, Indians across the world are setting up African stores. Go to most African stores across the world. Who owns them? Indians, Jews. Some of these stores are even not African stores. They are Indian stores, they are Jewish stores, but they have African food section. That's what they do. They have African. Why? Because they know they will sell. They will sell. Nigerians will come, Ghanaians will come, Malians will come, South Africans will come. They want to eat, their own thing. So if you are able to break into some communities over there and they trust you and they know you, they'll buy from you because they want to eat uh, banga. They want to eat banga with banga spice, with banga leaf. They want to eat ogbono soup, and all that. They want to eat ugu. They want to taste ugu leaf. Look at one video I saw that went viral sometimes back. The guy was selling roasted corn, I think in the UK. So people were coming to meet him that oh yeah, sell for us. And later the guy was telling them that if he that they should queue, that if they are not on queue, he's going to just carry the roasted corn and leave. It was really funny because they don't have any choice than to beg him that why? Because maybe some of them has not even seen roasted corn like for years. So you have to select what you want, and it's doing it right. You are really going to get a buyer for it. So next thing is getting buyers, sealing your export contract, produce or you procure whatever you want to sell or whatever commodities you are looking at and package it to specification. Package it to the specification according to what you have in your export contract. Okay, then apply for Form NXP. So the Form NXP is your is the NXP there is called Nigeria Export Proceed. So it's a Nigeria Export Proceed form NXP. So when you apply for this form NXP, what it does is that it captures what you want to export. Like, okay, I want to export cashew nuts, so number of tons. This is the value. Okay, so let's just say what we are exporting is $50,000. So I want to export cashew nuts. I want to export like maybe 10, let's say like 5 containers. So 5 containers, you should be getting about maybe $200,000. So value of everything like $200,000. Okay, fine. The NXP, when you submit, it automatically uh, awards you an ID, okay, like an ID, like a tag, So the NXP is because while you are filling that NXP, you select your bank, your bank and all that. So your bank will review it, they will approve. If everything is okay with it, they will approve it. Once it's approved, there will be another ID, like okay, this is the export, your NXP ID, your NXP number for this particular shipment. So when you print out that NXP form, the approved one, that's what your freight forwarder will use for documentation of your shipment and all that, to document your shipment, to get certificate of origin, to get bill of lading, because that's your NXP number must be on your bill of lading. It will be there with your container number, with everything, everything, everything. So that NXP number is what CBN uses to track your shipment. CBN will be using it to track. Okay. So now, so in the previous slide, I was talking about how you can get your money out of your export domiciliary. An exporter uses Form M, not Form NXP. So an exporter here uses Form NXP, but an importer, if you want to import, if you want to bring something, you are bringing something in from China, let's say like 10 containers from China, you use Form M, you open Form M. That Form M also will be approved by your bank and all that. So let's say for your Form M, you need $1 million. Okay. So let's say you need $1 million. But you as an exporter, you are already paid $15,000 into your export domiciliary account. And you have your NXP and all that. So your bank will now tell you that, oh, we have a customer who needs like $1 million. So will you swap? So you just give the person your own $50,000. The person will pay you in naira. So both of you will agree on the rate. So for CBN, according to CBN policy, this transaction is to be done, using CBN rates, using CBN rates. But that CBN rate is really low. It's not so CBN rates, for instance, can be like $1,200 to a dollar. Meanwhile, on black markets, let's say the rate is maybe $1,600. Sorry, 1,600 naira to a dollar. So you as an exporter, you've been paid. Well, inflation has even happened. Some things have happened. You've accrued some expenses. Now that the payment is here, you are supposed to exchange as black market rate so that you can have all the naira you can to stave the expenses, overhead, running costs, everything you spent money on that shipment. And now there's even inflation. So maybe you are not even getting much. So the bank manager will allow both of you to discuss and agree. Oh, so the man can just say that, oh, I know CBN rate is 1.2, but it's 1.6 in black market. Okay, let me pay you 1.5. Let me pay you 1.550. Why? Because the importer with the Form M2 he's not getting dollars. He's not getting someone to give him dollars. So when he sees the little dollar he can get, when he sees, oh, you have $50,000, oh, don't worry, I'll pay you, I'll give you. You understand? Because he too has to pay for his containers. He has to pay up for the Form M. So he will take the $50,000 from you, and maybe both of you compare as 1,550. So you too as an exporter, you look at 1,550, still better than 1,2 of the CBN rate. So you collect it. So both of you are still good. Are still happy. So that's how you swap currency between the exporter and the importer. So you ship your container after you get your Form M, your container leaves for port, your freight forwarder does all your documentation. You can also do it yourself. You send, once your documentation is ready with the bill of lading, you ship it to the buyer. You ship it to the buyer. Then you get paid. That's the next thing, because your shipment has been done, so you get paid. Depending on the contracts you both have, depending on the contract both of you have, you get paid. You receive your payment. In our program, we are still going to look into payment, terms of payment, okay, or payment terms. So that will help you understand how to receive payments from importers or from buyers. Okay, so in all these, what level are you now? Are you a beginner? Are you an intermediate? Or are you an expert? Are you just starting in your export business? Are you already have you started already, but you just need the right knowledge to expand it, or you are already an exporter, but you want to expand your export business? So whichever way or whichever level you are, you can start right where you are. Okay, you can start right where you are, whichever level you are. So you can structure your marketing processes. You can structure your marketing processes, the digital marketing part, the B2B, and all that. So which is one of the things that we must complete in this EMP. You must complete the how to structure your business and structure your business. That's a goal you cannot miss. Now, I've trained, several people year in, year out, and some will not even finish their program. Some they'll finish, but meanwhile, some their mind won't be in it. So that's one of the reasons why we made these 3 months. That okay, if you pay very good attention to what we are teaching you, and you do what we ask you to do. For instance, before we finish this program, your business is well structured, your digital presence is set up and all that. So it's going to be easy that even if we end the program and you don't have access to us again, you can build on that always, be able to build on it, and, just do whatever that you have to do. So another thing is to stay consistent and aggressive in your marketing. In your marketing, you have to stay consistent. So don't be tired, don't be swayed, don't think that, oh, I didn't get a buyer this month. So because I didn't get last month, I was thinking I'll get this month. I didn't get, oh, I don't think I can do this thing again. So one of the things about exporting or buyer sourcing is that you have to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent. If you are not consistent, you won't get it, okay? You have to stay consistent. And then you have to display excellent communication with your prospective buyers that are going to be sending you messages, emailing you, calling you, or whatever the case may be. You have to be very professional with them. You have to let them know that you know your stuff, you know what you are doing, you know the commodity, you know the product. And that's why I ended this slide with research your chosen commodity or product. You have to know your onions. You have to know what you are doing. You have to understand the specification, all the specification that are in existence for your commodity. So let's say the commodity you chose is charcoal, for instance. You have to know all the types of charcoal there are. You have to even know there are some specific charcoal they sell in Dubai those charcoal they are taken from Nigeria, repackaged and all that, they are sold in Dubai to London to US. And when you see those charcoal in London and US, it is made in Dubai. You see on it. It's made in Dubai. You see on it. So there are several products like that. There are even Gary. You see some Gary in US is made in Manchester. You see some products made in Florida, but you know this product is from Nigeria now. Come on, what are you saying? What are you telling me? This is Nigerian taste. This is Nigeria. So you need to research all these products or commodities. So it will help you understand how to relate. It will help you understand how to relate with your audience, with your prospective clients. All right. So that is what researching helps you do. So cashew nut, for instance, it has its own specification. So someone buying cashew nut will tell you that moisture, this is the moisture I want. Nut count. This is the nut count I want. Um, uh, RCN, okay, the nut count. They can also tell you, okay, if they want it raw or they want it processed, you know. And then they can tell you if the cashew nut is coming from Nigeria, they can also tell you the kind of origin they want. If the cashew nut is to come from Odomosho, for instance, or is to come from Kogi State, they will also tell you, yes, some Indians know these things. Some Indians will tell you, I don't want so place. I want so place. In fact, don't be surprised. Some Indians will tell you that this commodity they want to buy from you, for you to move it from farm or for you to move it from where you are going to buy it to the port, they will be giving you the price. They will be giving you that it's not supposed to cost you more than so amount. So you'll be the one to let them know that this is my country. I live here. You can't know more than me. So this is what is happening. So that's just the thing. So that's why you need to. So sometimes you'll be asked questions when someone is asking you for pricing, for instance, you shouldn't spend too long. You should be able to just tell the person, okay, give me a few minutes. Okay, let me make some calls. Okay, something happened. We've changed price because of some fluctuations in economic, the situation of the country. So let me check up with my warehouse. Let me quickly place a call to my manager, and all that. So you can give them the right price. Okay. So we are still going to consider export pricing, how you should calculate your prices. When someone asks you how much are you selling it, you can't just say it's $1,000 per ton. No, you can't just say it's $5,000 per ton. You don't. So, sometimes, one of the mistakes I used to do when I first started the export is if you ask me, so how much is it? I can just wrap my head around it and say, $4,000 per ton. But that $4,000 per ton, in my mind, I've thought that what's come to worse, commodity should be like, so this one, so there should still be profit. I should still even have like $1,000 profit on it per ton, so that on one container, if I do 30 something tons, I'll have like 30 something $1,000 profit. It's a lie. It's a lie because at the end of the day, you see different expenses. So, in fact, your profit on a ton might not be more than maybe $200. So you need to sit down, plan your research your price, do your calculation, add your profit separately, your profit margin. But after you've gotten all your pricing and all that, you have to add it separately to it now before giving it to your prospective client. Because it's not good for you to tell your clients now that $1,000 per ton. Then you come back in the afternoon and say, oh, I made a mistake. It's actually $2,000 per ton. Then maybe the next day you say, I went to the market today to go and buy for someone, but so and so is 3,000. Of course, the buyer will look at you and think, oh, this person is not serious. So maybe I should just maybe I should just leave this person alone. So that's one of the reasons why you have to do your research about your commodity. And like I also always um, advise, you don't need to know everything about every commodity. You don't need to supply or ship every commodity. You just need one or two commodities. Because in exporting, you just need one or two good export contracts. If you have one export contract that is very good, it can change everything for you. Okay, so you don't need a lot, but it's also good to have a lot. There is nothing bad in that. Okay, so this will be the end of our class. So if you have any question, we can unmute now. We can all unmute and ask questions and give feedback if we have any. But if you're in your office and you can't talk or something, you can drop your question on Telegram. I'll answer them. All the links to the classes will be uploaded, and this particular PDF also, it will be sent in. You can go through it once again. You can go through it with the video of the classes too. So if you have any question, please just go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, Omotola. Can Omotola hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Hello,
So,
good afternoon, sir.
yes, good afternoon. So I hope the class was clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Firstly, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate you. You have been amazing. The class is, I really enjoy it. But my question is this. For something like this malt, exportation of drink like malt and all that.
Yes.
Um, for instance, somebody like me, I like anything drink because normally in Nigeria, that's what I does. So I sell drink, I sell ice block, anything like that. I so much like it and I really want to export. But I don't know how to go about it because I know it's made here in Nigeria. Sure you understand.
Yes.
So I don't know how to go about it. I don't know, maybe you can explain in this class or I don't know. So I said I should ask because that's
Oh,
what I really want to go into.
okay, okay, that's fine. That's really fine. So, when we are talking about exporting drinks, especially drinks that, the advantage of exporting drinks, already produced or manufactured drinks like Coke, like Fanta, Mirinda, Malta Guinness, or even Guinness. Yes, Guinness. What's the name? Smirnoff. Yes, Smirnoff, Guinness. I don't know which other alcoholic drink I've exported. I'm trying to remember which alcoholic drink I've exported again. Small stout, all the small stout, big stout, and all that. So now the benefit there is that those companies, they are well known. They are known across the world. Everybody knows 7 Up. Everybody knows Pepsi. So anywhere you load those containers to, they can't say they don't know the product. So the product, they know they are high end. They know the quality is good. They know. So what you now have to do is to search for a good store. Now you are not working with an individual. You want to work more with a store. That's the thing with drinks. So you want to work more with a store, or you want to work with an individual that is looking towards setting up his own store. So, like for instance, I have this student, she lives in Poland. She lives in Poland and she's looking towards setting up an African store in Poland because she's telling me, oh, there is no store like that. There is no one selling something like that around where she stays, and it's a very big place in Poland. So even though she wants to move, maybe she wants to move to US or something like that, but she's looking at it that if she can set up that business, the business can be running while she lives or monitors it across. So what I'm trying to say is that you need someone like that you can work with. So you need people that, okay, maybe they want to set up an African store, or those that have already set up African stores that you
Okay.
can now be shipping drinks to. So there
Okay.
are also Nigerian chefs, Nigerians in the US, in the UK, in different places that they are chefs. That's what they do. They do all these food parties. Some are event managers. They are always taking drinks to events, icing, doing all these things. So they will just be the one to order from you and tell you that, oh, we need so, we need so, or maybe our inventory is low. We need new drinks. We need more drinks. So because if you want to know how drinks sell, if you want to know what is happening in that drink industry when it comes to exporting, just go to what's the name of this market now? This market at Ojaoba, yeah, I think Ojaoba or something like that.
Okay.
When you get
Around that big area.
is it around Agege? Wait, hold on. Okay, at Okiari, yes, at Okiari, that's where that
Is it
market
in Lagos?
is. Yes, it's in Lagos. It's in Lagos. Eco Market.
Oh, okay. That
Eco
means
Market.
Lagos Island.
Yes, Lagos
Oh,
Island. If you get to that Lagos Island, you will see containers being stocked with drinks, containers being loaded with drink. I mean, right from the market, right from that market, you will see a lot of it. So so most times the people who buy those drinks from me, they have their own store. So now when the container arrives, they will just put them in their warehouse. So like some of my clients, so what they will do is that they'll put those drinks in their warehouse. They will now be bringing those drinks out, pack by pack, and be placing it in their store for people to be buying. So they used
okay.
to sell it as a retail. So they make a lot of profit from it, a whole lot of profit from it. So
Hmm.
that's the thing. So you need people like that to buy from it. So when we are talking about when we enter into classes where we are discussing buyer sourcing and all that, I'm going to talk more deeply into how you should or how you can go about getting those kind of buyers or those kind of people. So, but one thing you can also do is you can try to search for African stores in different geographical areas. For instance, in Kenya, you have Nigerian food stores in Kenya where you can eat Nigerian food. I think it's in South Africa also. You can see in Malaysia, in Turkey, in UK. UK is even is it's a lot in UK. It's a lot. And the beautiful thing about UK is that even though UK is the crowd and all that, Nigerians are still going there every day. New Nigerians are still moving to the UK every day. So your market is still there. So you can't say it's saturated. You can't say it's saturated already. No, your market is still there. You will still see another community that will buy from you. So you just need to, one thing about, getting the right people to sell to is your consistency, how consistent you are. So if you are really consistent, yes, you can do drinks, a lot of drinks, a lot of drinks that you can move. So it's just getting the right buyers to ship to. So if you are going into drinks and it's going to be in containers and all that, the structure I mentioned the other time is just what you need to
Yeah.
have on ground. So once you have that on ground, let's say it's going to Europe. In Europe, the customs might have like some form of stickers that an importer, when they bring in drinks, they must put on the drinks. So like some of my own clients, for instance, in some parts of Europe, those countries they have to register for a license to import drink. They have to get a license, but that's not your own business really. So they will be the one to get those licenses. So when those drinks come, they will just put those stickers on all the drinks. So you know there are some European countries too, they don't speak English. They speak other languages. So so they will have those stickers in their language. So when those drink comes, they'll just put it on the cartons or maybe on the crates or maybe on the drinks. So anybody that wants to buy it, they will know what that drink is in their own language, and not necessarily English. So, but that's the buyer that will do all that. So yours is just connecting with the buyer. So you just need the right set
Okay.
of buyer, but the kind of
And
people.
another thing is I can't do mini exportation with this kind of thing. It has to be
Okay,
micro, right?
no, you can. You can because you can get people who just need it for a particular occasion. For a
Oh,
particular occasion. So now for instance, if you have a party in the UK and the party is going to be maybe tomorrow evening, and someone
okay.
contacts you very early in the morning today, if the person has the money,
Okay.
the person will get whatever they need for that party before tomorrow evening. So you might get there tomorrow morning. So it's just about money. So what I'm trying to say is that drinks can go mini. So it can just be like maybe 4 packs of drinks that you sent, 5 packs of drinks that you sent, even 1 pack that you sent. So when you go to ports, when you go to airports, NACO or SACO, you see all these kind of products, all one crate of mineral, 2 crates of mineral being packed in cartons and all that. You see them there. So you can ship drinks in small scale. It just depends on what your buyer wants. It just
Okay.
depends on what they want. So yes, so it can go in mini, it can also go in containerized. Exactly.
Thank you so much, sir. I still have other questions, but as time goes on, I will ask. I want the class as the class proceed. So I will still
Uh,
ask
okay,
other.
okay, okay. No problem. No problem. So if
Thank you so much.
Emmanuel and Mr. Lucky, yes, good afternoon. Oh, okay, you don't have any question right now. I can't really hear you. It's just,
So what's the one?
oh yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, and I said they were very, very insightful. Like I said, people decided on which question one was considered because the platform is the common as well. But you know, as we consider this session, also have a lot of questions in the so just prepare for it.
Okay, I can only hear Emmanuel in bits. I can't hear him in full. Uh, but I think what he's saying is that he doesn't have a question right now. Okay, but if it happens that you have a question later, just put it on the platform. Okay. So, Mr. Lucky, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, all.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Um, Position, as long as I'm concerned, this is I've been seeing people doing it. I don't know the in-depth things behind it and what they pass or go through to ensure that all these things are being carried out. But with what you've just said so far, like it's like an eye opener to me. Just to say that the lesson was like very exciting and welcome by me. Presently, I don't have any question for now. I'm
Okay.
just
Okay.
I'm on the fence, trying to like and understand what is going on. But
Okay.
with time, I
Okay.
will have questions to ask.
Okay.
Good things. I really enjoyed the lesson or the teaching.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Omotola, why not go on with your other question so that everyone can learn from it. We still have a bit more
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
We still have a bit more time. So, Omotola, you can ask your question. You can go ahead with your next question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So another question I want to ask is about customers. Like, get if I get a customer
Yeah.
abroad, can I do it in a way that I will tell them, because I've done one exportation training like that, that I was told that they can't pay me in their currency. I
Okay.
was told that it has to be in Nigeria currency. So, and that's what I want to ask you. That is it possible, for instance, if I supply UK now, they spend pounds over there. Can they pay me in their currency? Is it possible? Or it has to be in my currency?
Okay, so they can pay you India. Actually the essence of exporting. Why we do exporting is because we want to be paid in their currency. That's it. Too. That's the reason why we
Mm-hmm.
do exporting. Yes, if you are exporting food stuff or mini exporting, because let's say the amount of money the person wants to pay you now is like £10. The person might be thinking that, oh, £10 is not too much now. I have the equivalent of that £10. Maybe because several Nigerians, they still have their Nigerian apps. Some of them still have money in their GT Bank. Some of them still have money in Kuda, in OPay. So, like, okay, £10 is just maybe 20K now, 20,000. I still have 20,000. Let me just quickly send it to you. Yes, they can do that, but it doesn't mean they can't pay you in pounds, like the £10. Because one of the things, like I mentioned export domiciliary account the other time.
Yeah.
So it does so that export domiciliary account now is in US dollars. So, but it doesn't mean that for your company's account that you can't open a pound account for your company. So what I usually encourage exporters to do is that you can have USD accounts as your domiciliary account. So pounds, you can have pounds also. You can even put maybe a Chinese yuan or a Japanese yen there, and maybe another currency again. So you can have four different currency for your
Okay.
account. Yes, the bank will open it
Yeah.
for you. They won't charge you, it's free. So you can tell your bank, oh, I
Mhm.
need also currency account. I need also currency account. Yes. Whether it's GT Bank, whether it's Echo Bank, we are still going to talk about banks later. Okay. We are still going to talk about the
Okay.
kind of banks you should use for your export. Okay. So, and they will open it for you. So if the client is saying, oh, I want to transfer £100, £50, £20, you just say, oh, hold on. This is my GBP account, my pounds account. So just send the money here. So because when you have another denomination account like that and you are being paid in it, it's not export domiciliary. You can withdraw it in cash. So you can even go to your bank and just
Okay.
say, oh, I have £50 here. I want to withdraw it. They will give you that one in cash. So, but if it's export domiciliary, that one you can't withdraw in cash from it because that one is regulated by CBN and FG. So, but other ones you can withdraw. Why not? Then, if you don't want to use a commercial bank account, in the world we are today, the technology is really wide. You can use Paystack. You can use
Okay.
Flutterwave. You can use different some of these payment platform that they will pay you in pounds, and you can even receive your payments in pounds. You can even
Wow.
receive, yes, your cash as pounds and all that. Uh so it's not entirely right that they can't pay in their currency. Maybe what the person is trying to tell is that because if the denomination is small, if the amount of money the person wants to pay you is small, the person might not necessarily pay you in their course. Might just look at it that let me just quickly send you the money in naira. So that might be what the person is trying to say. But because for instance, if you are doing containerized, even if it's not containerized exports, like maybe someone wants to buy, maybe the person say, oh, do full goods for me and give me maybe 1 carton of dried smoked catfish, and do maybe frozen snail, maybe 5 kg of frozen snail. So that's a lot of cash now. So maybe the person is spending about 2 million naira, and that's like maybe $2,000 or 1,000 something dollars. So you can just tell the person that, oh, I want the money in USD. That, oh, send it to me in USD. This is my USD account. And the person will, since the person sends it to you, you get the work done and all that. So you can do your own withdrawal, go to black market and do your own exchange yourself, just the way you want. So you can do it anyhow you want. Yes. So if I remember also there was some time when I used to just get USD in non-export domiciliary. So once I get USD in my non-export domiciliary, I have an aboki already. The aboki is close to my bank branch. I'll just call him. He will go to my account officer. He'll go and sit down with my account officer. Once I transfer the money to him, once he confirms, he will transfer naira to my own account at black market rate. So once I just tell my account officer, he's done, he has transferred it, he will go. My account officer will let him go. He will go. I won't even leave my house. Everything I'll
Hmm.
do from my house. So yes, they can pay in their own currency, and it's even better that way. It's actually better for
Because
them
I
to pay in
prefer
their
it that way.
currency.
Yeah.
It's actually better. So, but if the person is now looking at it that maybe I don't have, maybe I don't want to pay or I can't, let me pay you naira. Well, accept the naira and just get the job done. So, and one thing about when you're exporting, when you are doing mini exporting, especially in food stuff, is that once you are able to build a relationship with one person. So, so the business, it has to do a lot with relationship. So once you're able to build a relationship with one person, that, Nigerian community, or let me say African communities abroad, they are togetherness. They are more united than when they are in Nigeria. Yes, they are more
Hmm.
united than when they are in Nigeria. So like my friend that I said that went to Austria, for instance, that part of Austria that he is, he might not see a black guy like maybe one week. You might not see anybody that is black. So there's even one video I watched on TikTok. The guy was saying this is the first black guy he has seen in like maybe 6 months. Immediately he saw the guy, they saw themselves. He just
Hmm.
ran and went to go. He does not know if the guy is a Nigerian. He does not know if he's a
Mhm.
Ghanaian. He doesn't. They are just black. That they are black and black. He just went and hugged the guy. I think maybe in Germany, somewhere in Germany or something. I don't know. The guy was like, "This is the first black guy we'll see in like months." They were laughing. They know. The two already know that, black, black. So when you see a Nigerian community over there or an African community like that, they are more united. So one can tell the other that, I have someone sending me smoked catfish. Oh, this person used to send me snail. That's the best snail, oh man. If you eat it, it's good. It's this. So that one too will try you. So before you know it, that whole community will start buying from you. So that's what you want to do. You want to capture a community. You want to capture a community. So like Canada, for instance, Canada is a very big country. It has very large areas, and there is a county or maybe a state. It's called Newfoundland and Labrador. So there is a guy who has a Nigerian store in that Newfoundland and Labrador. So I used to try to watch the guy's video. I used to just follow the guy to know how he's getting his food stuff and products. So you can do stuff like that. Just go to YouTube, search for maybe Nigerian store here and African food store. You'll see stuff. So I was just trying to look at the guy. So I saw that the guy brings in food stuff. to this Newfoundland and Labrador from Ontario. Ontario
Okay.
is also another part of Canada, but very far. In fact, very, very far from that Newfoundland and Labrador. So because that Newfoundland is like an island. Yeah, it's like an island
Wow.
on its own. So now, and I was now looking, and if you see this guy's store, very big, you will see virtually everything there: stockfish, frozen fish, this one we call panla that we used to call panla here,
Yes.
the catfish, he has it, ogbono is there, uh,
Hmm.
Titus is there, all these are our
You
seasoning, all
know,
these things we call Maggi and all that. He has it. He has sponge. He has sponge. He has
wow.
this broom. This broom we used to do our
It's
draws
Jabe.
here. Ijabe, he has it. He has everything. So
Wow.
looking at that, how's this guy getting all these things? And he said what happens is that okay, some people they used to ship it to Ontario. So they have a very
Hmm.
big like warehouse there. So he will go to the warehouse, bring it to that island. Now, for him to go to that warehouse and back, it takes him maybe like 2 days. It
Hmm.
takes him maybe like 2 days because it's very far. So I was now doing a calculation like, okay, why can't someone just take the venture
Someone.
of shipping to that guy directly?
Hmm.
So
Direct.
I look at it, I saw the cost that it's really going to be very expensive, and all that. So these are things you need to look into. So you need to find a solution. Like for that guy now, though I did not try to get his contact. Like someone like that, you can try to get to talk to the person, maybe send him a message. Then when the person responds, then you start talking to the person about how maybe you can help, process better quality and all that, how you can do this, do that. So before you know it, you are already talking with this person. So the person, of course, will tell you that, I have a supplier. I have someone who is supplying to me. I have someone that is selling to me. So the person might not agree with you immediately. So it might take some time, but maybe eventually one day the guy will just say, oh, okay, send me this one. Let me buy this from you and see how it is. And that's how it starts. So you send the first one, maybe the person just buy one bottle from you, then see that, oh, it's good, your service was okay, buys two bottle next, buys three next, buys five, buys 10, 20, 50. So that's just the thing with food stuff. So that's why you just need to be consistent. Consistency is key.
Another thing I want to ask you is, sir, are you with me, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Because actually, I'm into many things. Apart from the drink I'm selling, I also produce flour, like swallow flour, like on my
Okay,
plantain flour,
okay,
um, what's it called? Potato flour,
okay,
yam flour. I produce myself.
okay,
I
okay,
go to the market, I bought the yam, I dehydrate, I produce. So
okay,
now, but the reason why I don't want to look into that for an export is because it's not, I'm the one producing. It's not as if I'm buying. So I
from
I
market.
feel people might not want to buy because they don't know the brand.
Okay,
That's why that's what I'm thinking. Oh, for the
okay.
drink now, as what you said now, that people already know Coca-Cola company, they already know Smirnoff
Yes,
and all that.
yes,
But
yes,
for my home brand, which is the Swallow Floor, many people don't know my brand yet, so they
yes.
might not want to buy. That's my own decision. That's what
Thinking.
I think about that section. So now, and
Okay.
I want to ask you, in a situation like that, do you think you can export what you are producing yourself and people will buy it?
Very well. Yes. Yes, so it's not so if you are okay, when we talk about the drinks thing and all that, okay, so I was saying that because when the container lands at any port, customs, they will come in, they will start asking questions, they want to look at your documents and all that. But when they open your carton, they see Coca-Cola there. Maybe they even take one out or open one just to test and all that. They see that, oh, this Coca-Cola, everyone knows Coca-Cola. Okay, so but when you send other products, sometimes these other products they won't even have any label on it. So
Yes.
severally, I've sent shipments like that it can be in bags, it can be in sacks or anything, and there won't be anything on it. So it's when it gets there that the person will now be telling them that it's Gary, it's called Gary, it's cassava flour or whatever. So it's later they will now tell the person that, oh, if you want to ship this thing again, this is the label you must use. Use this, put this, put this, put this. So that's when we'll now start putting label here so that the customs, it will be easy for them to actually allow that goods in. So, but in your own case, when you are doing mini exporting of food stuff, let's say someone asked for different kind of products from you. Yes, you can ship any products that you produce yourself. In fact, you should push those kind of products more because they sell more. So now, unripe plantain flour, where do you want to
Yes,
get unripe plantain flour in the US? So they don't really
yes.
know about it. They might not even be thinking of that. Where do you want to get what is it
Potato
called?
flour.
Even pap.
Yes, I do that one.
Yeah,
Dry
we
pap.
we
Yes,
ship pap. We export pap, locust beans. There's this one that is called ogiri or something like that.
yes.
They export it. There are egusi, yes, the melon is exported. We export it. We export melon. You don't even need to grind it. Just make sure it's clean. There is no sand. There is no stone, and it's white. You know, and you seal it up. They buy it. Yellow Gary is even different from white Gary. They buy both. So you just need to, so if you like, you can add your name there. So now there are some basic things the customs guys will look out for. Maybe like this product, when was it produced? When is it going to
Okay.
expire? So if you want to do so there are ways you need to do your labeling or design your labeling or make your labeling to be export compliant.
Thank you.
So when I say
Okay.
export compliant, you don't need, I'm not saying it's not good, but you don't need NAFDAC to export. You don't need SON to export. You don't really need them. So if you say Omotola Foods. So let's just use that as an example. It's not even registered with CAC. Just put it on the
It's
label.
ready.
Omotola. No, I'm just saying that you don't even need that to be registered with the CAC. So let's say there is Omotola Foods, for instance, and you put unripe plantain flour. So you write a nutritional value. Oh, there is starch here, there is protein there, you don't, if you like, you can add the percentage in front of it if you like. If you don't have that percentage, just list the nutritional values, put your address, put information of how you can be reached, like phone number and all that,
Okay.
then add a manufacturing date that, oh, this thing was manufactured so day. If you don't want to add the manufacturing date, just make sure there is an expiry date there. Maybe February 2025, December 2026, that kind of thing. So when the custom looks at it, they know that, oh, the product is not yet, it hasn't yet expired. So sometimes that's just what the custom want to see. So if your labeling is good, is okay. It doesn't matter if your name is well known or not. The product will go. As long as it is a product that they are accepting in that country to enter. And any flour product is good to go because, before you can create a flour is dried, the item is
Yes.
dried and grinded and all that. So if they open it, sometimes you might put like, let's say, like six sachet of flour products inside the carton. Then you seal up the carton. So let's say they open the carton, they now saw flies, or they now saw ants, or they now saw something walking around. That's when there used to be issues. That's when they can look at it and say, no, what is this? This is not good. Oh, you want to poison our people. That kind of thing. So, but let's say they open this. Oh, it's nice. Just, oh, what's this? So they will even ask the importer, what's this? So that one tell, oh, this unripe plantain flour, it does this for the body, it's good for the body. Oh, okay, fine, fine, fine. So another thing is because they know that what is being imported to is consumed more by maybe Nigerians or maybe Africans in around them or that are among them. So they will know that their own people doesn't eat that. That is just the Africans there. that will buy it. So they will just allow it in. So your own label. So just make sure you work on your own label. That's all. So if your labeling is good, you are good to go. You can export anything under food stuff.
Can I export both the drink and the can I
Yes, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can put different things in your cargo. In your container also, you can put different things there. So you can do that. You can. You can. So we've come to the end of this session. We going to, so once the links are ready, we are going to put it on Telegram. So, but if you still have any other question or discussion, just put it on Telegram and we are going to take it up from there. We are going to take it up from there. So thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate. Then concerning the class governor, we are going to announce the class governor today on the Telegram group. So it will help us with creating the schedules for the class and all that. So that we can send a better calendar.